Hey, it's me. Hold on. Okay. Hey, it's me, Yasmin Marie, and welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been so long since I've made a YouTube video, and honestly, I just got unmotivated, but I am back motivated, and so this is gonna be the first video of my motivation. We'll see how long it lasts. So, as you read, or as you've seen by the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time on my pregnancy, labor and delivery, and postpartum journeys. I'm going to be talking about that. So, yeah. I don't know, I'm so nervous. I haven't made a video in so long. And excuse my voice, I am a little sick, but it's okay. We're going to push through. Hang on, let me take a drink of water. Okay, as you can tell, I had a baby. I had a boy. His name is Carter. I am currently sitting in his nursery. This wall looks really bland, but the rest looks pretty nice. Hang on. Okay, so to start out, I'm gonna start talking about my pregnancy. So I got pregnant, or I found out I was pregnant on October 6th of 2025. And I mean, yeah, it wasn't unexpected. My husband and I were trying for a baby at the time, so it wasn't like a surprise or a shock that I was pregnant. Well, it was a little bit of a shock, but it wasn't like super, super crazy. And the only reason it was a shock was because every day for a week before that day, I was taking pregnancy tests, and nothing was coming back positive. They were all coming back negative. Lincoln. Are you gonna let me do this? Yeah, so they were all coming back negative, and then I tested again on that Monday, and I got a very, very faint pink line. But yeah, that's the day I found out I was pregnant, and since that day I started scheduling my OB appointments and just stuff like that. So my first trimester went pretty well. I didn't really have the morning sickness. I wasn't really tired or anything like that. I still had all of my energy. I was still doing my normal activities, like going to work, playing volleyball, stuff like that. And yes, I talked to my doctor. My doctor said it was fine. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna breastfeed him for a little bit because he's getting fussy. But where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking to my doctors. They said it was fine to continue as long as I was careful. So first trimester went by pretty quick, pretty easy. I found out his gender at 2 months with my, I think it was like NIPT test. I don't remember the name of the test, but it's a blood test. And I found out the gender. I found out he was a boy then. And I told my husband, I did like a little gift basket and stuff for my husband to let him know. Yeah, that was pretty much my whole first trimester. It was pretty easy. And then when we got to the second trimester, I started getting nauseous. So I started having morning sickness, but I wasn't throwing up just yet. And I still had a lot of energy. I could still function. I only had morning sickness during the day, and it wasn't super like severe where I needed to take medication for it. It was just like the feeling was like there, like at the back. So it wasn't too bad. And then my third trimester hit me like a literal bus. I had morning sickness again, but it was like severe, and I was waking up to throw up. I was throwing up in the morning, like almost every morning. Sometimes I would be throwing up at work. It was really, really bad. I was always tired, had zero energy. And yeah, I my third and first trimester like swapped. Like I got all the bad stuff in the third trimester, and then like my first trimester was sorry, my first trimester was pretty good. Um, but after my third trimester, I didn't even go full term. I had him at 38 weeks and I think a day, maybe, or 2 days. So I went into the doctor. I went in for a doctor's appointment on June 3rd. No, yes, on June 3rd. And I went in for a normal doctor's appointment, normal checkup, my 38-week checkup. And everything was good except I had high blood pressure. And that was a problem because 2 weeks before, um, I went in for my 36-week appointment and I also had high blood pressure. And so they started to get concerned about me getting preeclampsia. So they went ahead and scheduled me for an induction that same night. Um, so I got sent up from my OB. I got sent upstairs to labor and delivery. Like right after my doctor's appointment, I got sent upstairs and they hooked me up to all the machines and they were monitoring my blood pressure and it wasn't going down. I was already contracting and I believe I was 2 centimeters dilated. I could be wrong, but I was like 2 centimeters dilated and like zero effaced. I think that's what you call it, zero effaced. I could be saying that wrong. Um, but it's like the little mucus thing, the lining, like the membrane or whatever. It's like how thin that has gotten, and it hadn't gotten that thin. So I was contracting, but I wasn't feeling it yet. I had been contracting for up to like a month at this point. I had been contracting for a while, but I wasn't feeling it at all. But every time I went to a doctor's appointment and they hooked me up on the machines, I was contracting. So I got scheduled for an induction, and I got to my labor room, I believe around 8 p.m. that night. I went to the doctor's appointment at 3. So I got to the doctor's appointment at 3 p.m. and then at 8 p.m. I was in my labor room getting ready to be induced. So after I got into my labor room, I got comfortable. I changed into my hospital gown, and then they put the Foley balloon. They used the Foley balloon, and I honestly like hated it. It didn't hurt. It was uncomfortable at like the most. It didn't hurt or anything. It was just wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to be induced. I wanted to go full term. I wanted an unmedicated birth. So that was just like, I don't know. That um, kind of ruined it for me a little bit. That I had to be induced. It kind of ruined my birth experience a little bit, but it wasn't like it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So I I got the Foley balloon, and then I was just chilling for a little bit, and then I did a couple laps around the hospital like hallways, just to kind of, I don't know, like keep circulation going and get the contractions started and all that good stuff. Until my contractions were starting, I could feel them. They didn't hurt. They weren't that bad. They were more like light period cramps. So I walked around for like maybe an hour or so. And then this part gets like really blurry for me. I go like in and out. But I had got my IV, my hand, well, it wasn't in my hand. I didn't have a good vein in my hand, so they had to go in my like forearm. I think that's what it's called. They put it like right here. that hurt. It sucked. That was like one of the like worst pains because they tried to put it in my hand. They poked me like 5 times. They did my hand. They did my left hand and they popped that vein. They did one back here. They did one back. They tried to do one back there. That didn't work. Tried to do one in the crevice of my left arm. That didn't work. Tried to do one in my left hand. That didn't work. And then they finally got one over here. And so got that. And then they started putting meds in my IV and stuff. And I don't remember what meds I was taking, but they made me so sleepy and like so drowsy, and I was just like out of it. So once they gave me the meds, I kind of stopped walking around. I just kind of laid in the bed, and, like relaxed. Started trying to breathe through my contractions and stuff like that. And then trying to think after that. Oh, after I chilled around for a while, I kept going to sleep, and then I woke up out of my sleep one time, and my water broke, or they took the Foley balloon out a little bit before, like a couple hours before they took the Foley balloon out, and then I was sleeping and everything, and then my water broke. I don't know, I don't have timestamps. I don't know what time this was, but I know that my water broke on Thursday the 4th. So, um, so Wednesday had my doctor's appointment, and I got my labor delivery room, walking around, getting medicine, all that on Wednesday, and then sometime on the 4th of June, I my water had broke, and so I let the nurses know that my water had broke, and they just kind of monitored me a little bit more. I was still in and out, very drowsy, not really knowing what's going on, and then my contractions were getting stronger. They still weren't like hurting like too bad to where I couldn't handle it, but they definitely were getting stronger, and like they were a little bit more painful. And then um, after probably a couple more hours, I got up to 8 centimeters dilated, and my anesthesiologist said that I could get my epidural around, like the last chance I would have to get an epidural was 9 centimeters dilated. So at 8 centimeters dilated, I decided that I wanted the epidural because I was so drowsy and sleepy that like I didn't know what was going on, and like I wasn't alert at all, and I kind of just wanted sorry. But I got the epidural because I did it. I was super like drowsy, and I don't know. I really don't have a real reason on why I got the epidural, because I wasn't like the contractions weren't like anything I couldn't handle. Like I was still doing fine, breathing through my contractions, sleeping through my contractions and stuff like that. So I don't really know why I got the epidural. I think I got it as like a safety net just in case I wanted it. But then like um my mom ended up like doing the medicine and stuff for me, allegedly. So I got the epidural at 8 centimeters. My plan wasn't to use it right away, but it ended up happening anyways. So I got my epidural at 8 centimeters dilated, and then what I'm assuming is a couple hours later, um, it was time to push. So I was pushing for 14 minutes. I pushed him out, and I believe 5 pushes it was. Um, yeah, and then it was really weird pushing with an epidural because I couldn't feel like anything, like waist below. I couldn't feel anything. And so it was really weird to have to push without being able to feel that I could push. And like I had the little mirror and everything that they give you, like if you want to see like your baby being born. I had that, but I don't know. To me, I couldn't tell that I was pushing him out. It didn't look like I was pushing him out. It didn't feel like I was pushing him out. Um, so yeah, I pushed him out in 14 minutes, and I pushed him out in 5 minutes or 5 pushes. After that, cleaned him up, put him on my chest, all that good stuff. And he came out 6 pounds and 14 ounces. So he was a little thing. He was a very big, he was honestly a really good size for a vaginal birth. So thankful for that. I didn't have any tearing. I didn't have to get any stitches or anything. So that was good. Thankful for that as well. And then after I gave birth to him, a couple minutes later, I got sent over to what's it called? What's that room called? Postpartum, the postpartum area. I got sent over there. They call it the mommy ward, I think. So I got sent over there for preeclampsia. They diagnosed me with preeclampsia after I gave birth to him because my blood pressures still weren't coming down. So they rolled me over to that room. They put me on magnesium, so I had to have like a catheter. I couldn't like go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't get up and go like walk to the bathroom because I guess magnesium makes you really weak and dizzy and like hot and all these stupid side effects. I didn't have any of those side effects. I actually felt like fine on it, but to be safe, they still didn't let me like get up and go to the bathroom or anything. So I had to have a catheter in. So I got that put in. I was put on magnesium, and I believe I was on magnesium for 6 hours. Or was it 12? I think it was 12 hours. Yeah. So they put me on that for 12 hours. So that happened at night. I think it was 8 p.m. on he was born at 6:18 on the 4th, and then at 8 they took me to my room and they put me on the magnesium. So I was on that for 12 hours. So I was on that all night. They gave me meds and stuff throughout the night. Everything like that. I held the baby, breastfed, pumped, did all the good stuff. And then the next day, so that Friday, I honestly don't even remember what happened that Friday, if I'm being honest. But I know I was still on magnesium for half the day. I ate. Nothing really crazy happened that Friday. It was just kind of like getting meds, being monitored, stuff like that. So that Friday night, my husband and I had to go to this like discharge class about like the purple sleep and like the baby crying for no reason and things like that. So we went to that because we were supposed to be getting off, or we were supposed to be getting out Saturday morning if my blood pressures looked good. So Friday night, I believe they took me off. It was either Friday night or Friday morning. They took me off of the magnesium because my blood pressures looked good. I don't know if y'all can hear him snoring. I hope not. But they took me off of the magnesium because my blood pressures were looking good and they stayed regulated. And so then Saturday morning rolls around, the 5th. They came around, checked my blood pressures, and I had just got done crying. They checked my blood pressure at like 9 something, and I had just got done crying because I thought I wasn't feeding, like I thought I wasn't producing enough milk for my baby. So I was like, oh my god, I'm starving him. He's not getting enough. He's so fussy because he's not getting enough food or whatever. So I just got done crying. So obviously my blood pressure spiked. So they took my blood pressure right after I had got done crying. So after they saw that my blood pressure had spiked, they revoked our discharge. So we had been approved for discharge, and then my blood pressure spiked again, and they were like, "Never mind, you can't go home." So I got put back on magnesium, and so I got put back on magnesium, and I just like cried that whole day, and I mainly cried because I had worked like super hard to like not get stressed out and not raise my blood pressure throughout the day, and also to get the catheter out because I hated being bedbound. I hated being in the bed, not being able to use the bathroom on my own, stuff like that. So So yeah, that Saturday after I got put back on magnesium, I just cried like the whole day nonstop. And then like I would calm down a little bit for whenever they were gonna check my blood pressure so that it could regulate and pumpkin. I would calm down so that it could regulate and my blood pressures could be like good so that I could get out the next day. So I did that over and over, was crying, then like tried to regulate myself, stuff like that. And then the next day on Sunday, we finally got discharged. Where even was I? Oh yeah, so the next day, Sunday, we get discharged at like I think 11 or so. So we get discharged. We got to bring the baby home. We got to bring baby boy home. So excited! I was so excited to get home and just like be home. So nothing crazy happened once we got home. We kind of just like settled in. Um, he settled in our room. I think he was asleep when we got home, and he slept for another like hour or so. When we got home, and the first night was pretty bad. Like he was up every hour, or he like wouldn't go back to sleep, or like he would be up every hour to every 2 hours, and then he would take another 30 minutes to an hour to sleep. So like I was getting no sleep, my husband was getting no sleep. That first like hour or that first day to like the first 5 days were really really bad, and then he like mellowed out a little bit, and so now he sleeps 4 hours at a time. He's eating 3 ounces. He's a big boy. He's always eating. Even when you think he's done eating, he wants to eat again. So I have to pump a lot and put him on my breast a lot and breastfeed a lot. So it's very tiring, very draining. So that's kind of how postpartum is going for me. But I mean, emotionally, I still feel pretty well. I'm still glad I had this baby. I wouldn't trade him for anything in the world. He's like the sweetest thing ever. He really doesn't cry like that unless he needs a diaper change or like he's hungry. So yeah, wouldn't trade him for anything in the world. But yeah, that's kind of how my pregnancy, labor, delivery, and postpartum went and has been. I don't think I have anything else to say. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions about like my labor and delivery or pregnancy or anything that I didn't cover in this video, or you have anything about your own experiences, like you have any questions if you're pregnant, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll answer them. Or you can message me on any of my socials and I'll answer them that way as well. Yeah. And if you guys want a nursery tour, let me know in the comments and I could do that. Right now it's kind of messy. But if you guys want a nursery tour, I can get it put together and show you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. I forgot to mention that I was in labor for a total of 26 hours.
That ain't my girl, that's my nigga. Catch me out on Ocean Drive with her. Hey, catch me in the whip, ride with her. Hey, sipping something, bumping big, hypnotized with her.